plain sight. And messy beds and traffic lights. It's not perfect, but it's mine tonight. This little life got so everyday magic. No fame, no flame. Just dancing while we miss the train. We laugh, we try, we start again. Somehow, that's everything.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new here, welcome. And if you've been here, thank you for staying. My name is Darren, the Creative Jesus Guy, and I'm a creative and performing artist from Kingston, Jamaica. Yeah, so welcome back. Now, we're back with Random Rambling as another part in I said a 4-week, but it feels like it's going to be extended because I realize I don't like people business. I like people business, and I don't mind sharing. So let me share something with you. When I was 6 years old, I remember. Well, if you're new here, if you didn't watch the video last week, I did share that I used to attend 2 churches, Seventh-day Adventist Church and a church on Sunday. Right? That's how much I really loved going to church. I love Jesus. But I remember going up, they asked me to sing, but I don't know how they knew that I could sing. I don't know how. I know perhaps I was singing or something and they knew that I could sing and they asked me to sing at Children's Sunday. And I remember they put me on a stool and I went ahead and I sang, "Make me a servant, humble and meek. Lord, help me lift up those who are weak. Oh, and may the prayer of my heart always be, make me a servant to..." I remember singing that song, and in the middle of singing that song, Mr. Habal, hey, I mean, like, it wasn't tears because I was nervous, but those tears came from somewhere. I don't know. Habal, if you hold me up because me Habal. And I can't forget that because it was a significant milestone, or let's say landmark per se, something that marked something significant. Get words together there. But anyways, that moment still stands out in my mind because it was almost like I was making a decision to serve the Lord with my whole heart. And I know for sure that me saying that yes without even knowing what I was going into was just setting me up for great things and an interesting journey, I should say. So, kept going. Accepted Jesus at 11, and I was involved in church. When I say I was very, very involved in church with singing, music, and the performing arts and everything. And I'm so grateful for the church. So grateful for the churches that allow the children or young people, everybody to use their gifts and their talents, because church is, for most people, the first stage they'll ever, and some people, for those who are not interested in pursuing a career as an artist, will be the only place they get to use their gifts and talents. And I'm so grateful that church allow me to find myself and also to use my gifts to honor and to glorify God. And I'm really, really grateful for that. I'm a church boy. Yes. I remember when I started high school, they brought a youth pastor to my church. I will never forget Pastor Jermaine Bolton. I remember how he would just encourage me, and he will always say to me, say, "Darren, come on, man, do it, man, you can do it, come on, you can do it." And I remember one day he came to me and he said to me, "Darren, you're a star." I'll never forget that. He said to me, "Darren, I didn't really know what that even meant." I was just like, I'm just using my gifts. I don't want to be famous or anything. Let's use my gifts." And I said, "Darren, you're a star." And I know for sure to me, he did something and it made me see myself different, and he would provide different opportunities for me to just explore my gifts and talents, and I'm so grateful. So that was very, very significant. So being at that church now, there were so many different things that were happening at the church. I remember I wanted to dance, and I started dancing, and at this time I was in high school, so I was dancing more, and I had a little dance group at church, and little dance group at Guan, the group at Guan, and my nice little group at Guan, and I remember choreographing something to Lava Ground and some DJ Nicholas at that time, and it was just so good. And they would want us to dance at convention and camp reunion, and if you know, you know. And I would love it so, so much. I remember I came to a point now where I was just like, I think we need to do something. We need to do something. We need to do something. Something big. Why not put on a concert? And I put on a concert, put some dances together, got another choreographer to help me, invited some churches to be a part of we call it a dancert. And we went and we did the dancert and planned the dancert and rehearsing and all, like costumes, everything. And on the night of the show, I did the first dance and exited. And when I exited, I was called around the back and I was told, Darren, you're not going to do any more dances for the night. Mind you, again, this is the night of the event. The concert is happening. I just finished one piece. Darren, you're not going to dance anymore. And I remember asking why. I was like, why? So the senior pastor doesn't want me to dance in his church. He doesn't want any men nor males to dance in his church. He doesn't like the idea. He doesn't want it to happen. So I said, all right, cool. But something in my brain doesn't ever sit well with me. Head chip. And I remember getting so mad. I was mad because I was just like, why? Church is a safe space, and this is where the only place I really get to use my gifts. What's happening? And them have to hold me back because I'm getting mad enough. I got so mad, and that hurt me so much, and I didn't get to dance for the rest of the night. And after that, I had to have a meeting with the senior pastor. And the senior pastor came to me and he said to me, yeah, I don't want you to dance in my church. And this was the part that hurt the most. It is nothing biblical. It's my personal opinion. I said to myself, hold up a second. Aren't the rules and regulations here in the church governed by the Bible? Because we not follow the Bible anymore. What keep? Him say, yeah, just this is my church, and I don't want you to dance in it. And I know you're gonna reference David, who danced in the Bible as a man, but I don't want you to dance in my church. And I remember I said, okay, left the office, and that was it. And from that day, we had a terrible relationship. He wouldn't speak to me. When I see him, he would just say hello. And from that, everything was just on guard. I was being watched as to if I'm going to dance in church. I remember because of that specific reason, I was not allowed to do other things in church. Really, I could do some things, but certain things that I couldn't be a part of the worship team. And it was hard for me because I was at that point I was just like, yo, this is painful, and I don't want to be here and feel this way. And it took years for me to be at the church and still serve. I don't know how I did it, and that's why I knew for sure that at that point I accepted Jesus as my Lord and as my Savior, and I knew for sure that my worship was only to Him. It wasn't to the church, it wasn't to the people who were running the church, it was only to Him. So even though it hurt, I still showed up. They asked me to do a little thing, I still showed up. Asked me to sing on the choir, I still showed up. But that hurt me. really, really bad, and I stayed nonetheless. Eventually, I was asked to be a part of the worship team and led worship a few times and sang and everything. And then I had to leave because I applied for college, got through, and when I came to Kingston, I couldn't travel to go back home to Montego Bay because it was just a lot, and it was just a lot. I was just like, it's too much. We can't manage it. I can't manage it to travel a lot back and forth to Montego Bay. And when I was here in Kingston, nobody from the church reached out to me. As a matter of fact, when I applied to go to school and I went to the senior pastor to talk to him, and I told him about me leaving, and he said to me, okay, just okay, just okay. I remember applying for scholarships at the church. I was not given any scholarship. There are other people who were given scholarships. Remember reaching out to the church and say, yo, we need money to take care of school because I don't have any money. No reply, nothing. It was another church who sponsored some money that I was able to pay for my first year in college. No money, nothing at all. Mind you, there were some moments that I acted out, and I must take responsibility for it because I was wrong, and I had to be like, you know what, Lord, I was wrong, and so please help me in this moment to not bury myself in shame and guilt, but to rise and to still serve you. And I did that. Came to college, nobody from the church called me there. I can count on my fingers of a huge church. Wow, 1,500 members. And at that time, it's a huge church in Jamaica if you have 1,500 members. Or 1,500 people. And I know I knew almost everybody at the church. Nobody reached out to me. Nobody called me. No one checked in, really. More people would reach out and be like, I hope you're okay. You're still going to church and yada yada. I was just like, first of all, you're checking in my well-being to see how me eat, how me drink. No, nothing. So I go on. Nonetheless, until I decided that I no longer wanted to be a part of that church because I no longer felt like I was a part of it. But I now felt like I was it was almost like to me, I can be wrong. It was like, he's now gone. You understand? That's how it felt in that moment. As I went along, I started going to lots of churches here in Kingston. Different church. Let me try different churches. I tried so many churches to see. I tried the popular churches. I tried small churches. I tried churches in midweek because I wanted to find a home, a safe place. But there were no spaces that really made me just want to stay there. And because I did nothing, it was just not connected. I was just not being connected. I didn't feel connected to the spaces. And I remember one time, perhaps for a month, I just stopped going to church. I stopped because I was just like, God, I'm tired of searching for churches and spaces to, just tired. Yeah. Anyways, one day someone invited me to a concert, and I found this church, and they said the concert was great, by the way. It's just like, wow, this is so refreshing. And then they said church is Sundays. And I said, okay, cool. Go to church. People from the first song sing, and the pastor sang, welcome the people, preach. And for some reason, none of it was jarring to me. None of it felt out of place. None of it felt too much. It was simple. The pastor on a keyboard, give him a ball. I cried, but I cried from the church start till church finish. Because finally, I was just like, wow, this is it. I remember I said to myself, I don't want to be a member of any church right now. I just want to go to a church and just sit. And I sat there for probably 3 months. Let me go. September, October, November, December, January. 4 months. Thereabouts. It was longer than that. I sat there for a while just receiving the word, and I received healing for my body and my heart. And I just stayed, and week after week I would just bawl. Nobody pressuring me to be a specific Christian, or pressuring me to do something that I didn't feel like I was connected to. But everything just felt like it was just going according to how I believe God wanted my life to go. Great, wonderful. Went on, and I got back to Kingston. I was asked to be a part of the worship team for one Sunday. One Sunday in February. I will never forget. It was for Valentine's Day. And sorry. From that Sunday, I sang on the team for 7 years. From that Sunday. And for fast forwarding to years after, I became, they asked me to be assistant worship leader. And then after that, I became the worship leader for the church. That transition was crazy to me. So crazy, because I was just like, Lord, oh, me reach us. Oh, me reach us. But I really, really surrendered my heart and my mind. And I remember when I was 6 years old and I said, yes, make me a servant, humble and meek. Lord, help me lift up those who are weak. I made the prayer of my heart, how will you make me a servant? When? Today. And that's it. Came the worship leader. And at that time, I had to stop going to Ednaman. And it wasn't because I was transitioning to being a part of being in full-time ministry. Hold on, backtrack. So I had to stop going to school because I wasn't earning. I didn't have any money to go back to school really, and I said I wanted to pause. And so when I paused, in the middle of that pause, the opportunity to do full-time ministry came about, and I prayed about it, and the Lord just said, yeah, go. So I was asked, went, asked to be worship leader, worked in the office. Let me tell you people, I did everything in church, everything that you can think about, every single thing. The only thing that I've never done was to be on the pulpit to preach a sermon. But I led worships, I call it that I'm preaching sermons every week. But as you understand, a structured sermon and stuff like that I've never done that. But I did that, led a team, didn't know what I was doing. I could pull on skills that I could see. I'm an active learner, by the way, so I don't necessarily have to do something before. If I like the thing, I can see it, absorb it, and then we can do it and figure it out along the way. So went ahead and I was there, I was serving, leading a team. I was serving and leading a team, big team of people who Matilla can sing. Sing. I am there with different ages, more so young adults to adults, people who are experienced singers, and it was nerve-wracking. It was nerve-wracking because every week I have to be like, Lord, I don't think I can do this. And I was encouraged by my leaders, encouraged by the church. At that time, I mean, my life was taking a turn as well. And so there was just so much happening. And I had to just surrender and say, yes, God, yes to being here. I serve my pastors, I serve the people. We then at the office, we do different things. We build things, make plans for things, have meetings about membership, have meetings about church and structure and all kind of things. Let me telling the people, I was involved. And I used to just love serving. So much so I didn't want to even take a day off. Like, I don't want to take a day off. I'm just going, no day off. every day, in, out, in, out. I was just like going. And they said, no, Darren, you have to take a Sabbath. Like, you have to rest. Have to. Until I said, you know what, fine, cool, I'll rest, no problem. I remember there were moments that I had to break hearts in terms of let people go off the worship team. I had to make hard decisions on my own and or just influenced to make hard decisions because they had to be made. And those moments were very hard for me because I was just like, I don't want to cause church hurt. I don't want anybody to be hurt by any decision that's being made right now because me know how I feel, you know? But anyways, I did that. Lost friendships. So many people that were connected with me or I was connected to, I had to just say goodbye in that moment. And that did hurt me, but I had to at the time. And for any of my friends who are watching now and you know, our relationship was affected by that season of my life, I am sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I love you. I do. And I hope that you found it in your heart to forgive me as we figure out life together. Mind you, some of these relationships, like mending them again, has been very hard, but figure it out as we go. And some relationships have been mended and grateful nonetheless, but yeah. So went on. Let's fast forward to 2020 during COVID. During COVID, life took a turn for everybody, and we know how COVID stayed. Life took a turn for every single person on planet Earth. Every person got to figure things out on the fly. We weren't really the church who prioritized media, and we had to figure it out. And at that time, not everybody could be at church, and because I'm a part of the core team, I had to show up in different ways for everybody. So we had to issue food. Also, you know that we had to go streaming online, all kind of different things. And so I eventually became head of media. Me don't know nothing, or if I do nothing, I have an idea, but I don't know. I had to do research, trial and error, whole heap of things. I am telling you, it was crazy. But I learned it, and I'm to this day, media is is now playing such a significant role in my life where I can't leave it alone. I remember one day I said to my pastor, I said, hey, I feel like at some point I'll no longer be the worship leader, but I'm going to be involved in media a little bit more. I'm praying about it, but I feel that in my heart. And all he said to me was, okay. And that was the end of that conversation. The end of that conversation. And it rocked my brain because we could have conversations about transitions and how life is going in a different direction and all kind of things, but when he almost dismissed me in a little way with the okay, it did hurt me because my pastor at the time, he was my spiritual guide, my spiritual dad, and he kept me accountable. Kept me very accountable for just life choices, every single thing in our life. But that moment, I realized something went wrong. I wasn't sure what to say, wasn't sure what to do, but I was just like, hold on, something is not right here. Then the relationship got stranger and stranger and stranger and stranger and stranger and stranger. Relationship with people in church got even stranger. I remember in 2021, we had a conversation. And when we had a conversation, I knew after this conversation that things would have changed, but he assured me that we're good, man. We're good, man. And after we had the conversation, like, I realized that were just some changes that were being made, and I wasn't included, or I was just like the person that get the final edit. Is it always like, you understand what I mean? Like when you edit something and then you don't send me send me a draft, send me the edit, and I have to look at it and accept the edit and move on. And things were being changed up, and I was asked to focus more on media, thinking that this is now art. Mr. Cool, God, this is now cool, no problem. And then I was just asked to head the worship team, but not lead. And then I was asked to head the worship team and not lead. Asked to do technical and more creative directing, and did that. But after a while, my joy was leaving me. Like, I started to get very sad, very, very sad. I got sadder and sad. I mean, like, I was sad. Nobody checked in on me, really. Only people asked me was, what wrong with you? And I was just like, what wrong with you? Is the question you're going to ask me? Anyways, went ahead and I served. Remember me saying, make me a servant, today. And it was a low point in my life, because at that point, church didn't feel safe anymore. It didn't feel safe anymore. It now felt like a place where my heart didn't want to find rest. But I still served and I still said yes. Fast forwarding, we eventually came to a decision together that I would explore more of my creativity. And I remember that there were some misunderstandings in that conversation. As a matter of fact, the way how that conversation ended was kind of crazy, because the conversation that we had in the meeting was this: Darren, you're gonna do more of the Creative Jesus guy, and when you do that, we will support you in any way that we can support you. So I accepted. I was just like, okay, cool. So you're gonna take a break, and then after the break, to get some rest, then you're gonna come back. We're gonna have a conversation as to how it goes. Conversation happened today. So like, today is Tuesday. Say today is Tuesday. On Sunday, it was announced in church that I decided to do my own thing. Tell you that hurt me. I tell you that hurt me, because that was not the truth, and we knew that wasn't the conversation that we had. And that was the defining moment. That was when I made a decision. I was just like, okay, it's time for me to go. I tried going back, wasn't feeling comfortable, because I thought going back I could have, offered advice or whatever to the new team members. As a matter of fact, the day I stepped away, a ton load of people replaced me. And it was hard to see and accept. I had to deal with grief. I had to deal with bitterness in my heart and unforgiveness. I had to deal with all of it. I had to deal with it because I had nobody really to talk to. I could talk to my friends about it and everything, and they would hear me out, and I appreciate all my friends for listening to me and defending me and being there for me. But I had to, when my friends were gone, I had to deal with that pain when I was alone, and I had to just be before God all the time. So now I'm at a place where I don't have a church home. I don't have a place where I say I'm a membership of, but I've not left the faith at all. I've not left the faith at all. After all, I'm the creative Jesus guy. Jesus is at the center of my life. I go to different church spaces and I worship. I still serve in different capacities with different groups within the gospel industry. I still show up as a child of God wherever I go. I've never ever denied Jesus, and this is not me trying to even over explain myself, but it's to just declare that, let me tell you something, I cannot live without Jesus. I can't do it. I cannot do it. It has never come to my mind to do it. No matter, even when I was hurt, when I felt out of place, when I felt like I wasn't enough, I had to go back to Jesus, because I remember making that decision at 8:6. Make me a servant, humble and meek. Lord, help me lift up those who are weak. And may the prayer of my heart always be, make me a servant today. And I'm glad that I made that decision, and I'm here now as the creative Jesus guy, still figuring life out, still being healed, still walking, sometimes limping, but I'm here. And for anybody who's ever been on a journey like mine, or you don't know what this looks like, or for anybody who's ever been on a journey like mine, I pray for your healing today. I really hope that you will find rest. Your soul will find rest in Jesus and not in anything that man will say or do or try to construct. Or, you know what I learned from all of this is that we're all human beings trying to figure out this life. I mean, there are lots of things that I didn't say, but I don't think I need to. As I say, mind you, there were some moments that I was wrong. There were moments that I was wrong, and I take full accountability for that. But I'll also say I don't think I deserved to be hurt in any way. But I had to just put on my big boy pants and keep it moving, and I'm still figuring it out. So I do pray for your healing today. And for those who have never been at church before, you don't know what church is, let me just say this. Church is a good place to be. It's a good place to be. If the presence of the Lord is there, you have nothing to fear. Not a thing, I tell you, nothing at all. You'll be all right. I always tell my friends, and quite a few people has asked me about ministry and going into full-time ministry and something, and the scripture comes to me: serve the Lord with gladness. And come before them singing as well. But I stopped right there. That part doesn't leave me. Serve the Lord with gladness. Serve the Lord. First of all, your service is unto the Lord first. And also, while you are serving the Lord and his people, be glad. Be glad. If you realize that there's no joy and you're not glad, please seek Jesus and ask him what's the next step. Because, my friends, we will all end up in this place of bitterness, and you don't want to be there. So serve the Lord with gladness, and find a good community that helps you to remember that you are already loved by Jesus, and great things are still in store for you. I think I know what you're talking now. Wow. Whew. I didn't expect to share so much, but I hope that this inspired you in some way, and you got to even know me a little better. And for those who've come up with different answers to questions that you don't have, here are your answers, and I really hope that this helped you. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you. Join me again next week Coolio. Yeah, next time. When was that? Say next week. Next time. Join me again next time for another episode in this series called Random Rambling. Peace, love, and blessings. Remember, like, comment, share. Subscribe to the channel, man. Bye.
Always, Lord,